Calling the meeting to order.
President Klaus.
Here.
Vice President Moll.
Here.
Treasurer Lichtenfeld.
Here.
Commissioner Novosel.
Here.
Senator AK.
Here.
Senator Mellick.
Proxy.
Senator Klang. Senator Flowers.
Proxy.
Senator Brokowski. Senator Trell.
Proxy.
Senator Salyers. Senator Arnold.
Proxy.
Senator Spalding. Senator Brown.
Here.
Senator Finelli.
Here.
Commissioner Newton.
Here.
Commissioner Pinter.
Here.
Commissioner Felt.
Here.
Commissioner Nino. Commissioner Wassine. Commissioner Shee. Commissioner Gibbons. I'm sorry, Senator Gibbons.
Here.
Commissioner Anna.
Here.
Senator Stanley.
Here.
Senator Sanders.
He's on the way.
Senator Ayers.
Here.
Ayers, sorry. Commissioner Sara.
Here.
Commissioner Stark.
Present.
Senator Preston. Here. Senator Easton. Senator Franchek.
Here.
Senator Freight.
Here.
Senator Northrop.
Here.
Commissioner Evans. Senator Wilson.
Here.
Senator Schlosser.
Here.
Senator Lundy.
Here.
Senator Dries.
Here.
Commissioner Haskins.
Present.
Senator Rizzuto.
Here.
Senator Schneider.
Here.
Senator Miller. Senator Cromwell.
Here.
I'm sorry, Senator Nikki Crumbs. Senator Geary.
Here.
Senator Grooms.
Here.
Commissioner Paul.
Here.
Senator Harper.
Proxy.
Senator Cole.
Here.
Senator Jones. Senator Eunice.
Here.
Senator Woods.
Proxy.
Senator Bonoma.
Here.
Are there any additions to the agenda? Seeing none, moving forward. Is there a
I
motion?
move to adopt the previous meeting minutes.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Minutes are adopted. Students speak out. Are there any students here to speak out? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Emily Quinn. I'm in Health 2020 101, and we're doing a student sustainability project. Basically, the idea that we came upon was about the heroin epidemic, and we're raising awareness about it. So it's called Ohio Heroin Epidemic Awareness Day, and it is going to be on November 29th in the Rotunda. You can show support by wearing purple all day because that is the color in support of heroin awareness and addiction. We have different events such as recovering addicts coming in and telling their stories. We have a panel discussion from law enforcement and heroin in Athens County. We have Tyler's Light, who is a boy. His father now speaks upon his son's story about how he overdosed in heroin, how their family overcame it, and fundraising for that as well. And at the end of the night, there's going to be a vigil in remembrance of those lost through heroin. There's a couple different things that we're doing as well. We're selling these wristbands. We're starting a nonprofit organization here called Erica's Angels. Part of the event is to raise money for Chloe Hall's sister. This is kind of how the whole thing started. She is missing and she is a heroin addict and everything like that. We're selling t-shirts, these wristbands, stickers, everything like that. So if you guys want to come out and support, that would be very much appreciated.
Thank you. And what time is the event on the 29th?
There are events throughout the entire day. I can forward an email to whoever. To Landon, I will forward an email. Sorry about that, Landon. But there's things going on from 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. So it's an all-day event.
Great. Thank you. Any other students here to speak out? Yeah, Jordan.
So I'm just gonna speak out. There's been a lot of conversation about how to be better allies to marginalized communities. First, I would say that we're moving away from the language of allies in social justice community into the language of accomplices. I don't need an ally to stand by the sidelines and watch. I need an accomplice who is willing to join me in this fight. The easiest way for you to do this is to listen to people from marginalized communities and believe their lived experiences. Hannah, when I interviewed with you to come back to this body after last year's elections, you asked if I was willing to work with you and your people. And I told you I was, but that didn't mean that I wouldn't speak up when something your people said was problematic. And that's still true today. I still want to work with all of you, and I have faith that everyone in this room is well intended. But you need to listen when people in marginalized communities tell you that your actions aren't helping. If you want to make our initiatives better, then ask, but do not invalidate the lived experiences of people in marginalized communities. Do not tell them just to wait around and see if it will help, and do not insist that what you're doing is helping when they tell you it's not. Thank you.
Thank you. Emma?
I'll just stand here, and I apologize for following those with everything fun. But the cross-country team is pairing up with the Ohio Valley Mining Company. It's a local business on 20 Station Street. I don't know if anyone's been there. They would be really cute if I tell you Queen and Skull. It's just like across the street next to the newer apartments. And from the 18th to the 20th, so it's this weekend, 10% of all the profit that they make from this weekend is going to the cross-country team. And we're trying to get to some bigger meets outdoors with a bunch of that stuff this year. So I understand it doesn't apply to everyone, but if you're looking for new fitness gear, new running gear, come to Ohio Valley Running Club this weekend and thank you.
Other students here to speak out? Seeing none, we're moving forward. Announcements, we'll start over here. Abby?
Alright, hey guys, so tomorrow the Women's Affairs Commission will be hosting Athens Access,
and this is a free panel discussion to help discuss reproductive health care in Athens. We'll have a variety of speakers, so feel free to come voice your questions or your opinions. All community members and students of all genders are welcome. And like I said, it will be tomorrow at the Athena Cinema at 7 p.m. And if you are one of the first 50 people to get there, you'll get free popcorn.
Thank you. Other announcements on this side? This side? Sarah?
LFC is putting up a streetcar named Desire this weekend, Friday and Saturday at 8 o'clock in Baker Center Theater on the second floor. We are going to be having a donation jar for my sister's place. So if you'd like to come see the show, tickets are $3 at the door and donate. Please come check it out. It's a great show. And it's a classic movie. I really hope to see you guys there this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Jordan?
Speaking of ways we can be better allies to marginalized communities, the Multicultural Activist Coalition will be on December 2nd from 6 to 10, hosting an event in the Living Learning Center to celebrate all of the marginalized, or the communities of marginalized individuals that live on our campus. There will be free food, dancing, and just be a big way to celebrate all of the identities that are on campus. And we would really love to see people in this room at this event supporting these marginalized.
What's the big demo mode again?
December 2nd from 6 to 10.
Thank you. Hannah?
Just so you all are aware, this week is Trans Empowerment Week. Tomorrow there will be a vigil at 8 for the trans lives that we have lost. I don't know where it is actually. I was just trying to look on Facebook. But if you follow the LGBTQA Instagram on Twitter, I'll try to tweet it later or like send it in a group to me so you all know. But it's at 8 p.m. tomorrow. And there is also a Die and Discuss tomorrow for Trans Empowerment Week with Christine Howey. So that's at noon in the LGBT Center, and you should all go here this week.
Just to clarify, the video will be at Galway Chapel again.
Other announcements?
Hi, so Delta Zeta Sorority is having a Starters for Start give up tomorrow night. It is from 5 to 7, and it's at their sorority house at 55 Mill Street. It's just going to be unlimited appetizers for $5. I went last year and it was an amazing time. I ate everything. So if you do want to go, let me know. I have a few friends that are selling tickets, but like I said, it's 5 to 7, $5. And if you're going to go, try and get there before 6.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Yeah, Hannah?
One more, I totally forgot about this, which didn't change for me. On Friday at 3 in the Women's Center, there will be an informational meeting about my favorite pet of the year, the vagina monologue. So, if you are interested, reminder, you do not have to identify as a female to be a part of the show or to place or support it in any way. There's a lot of really cool things happening with the show, a lot of changes that are being made to kind of make it more inclusive and really address some of the issues that have been in it in the past. So if you're interested, then it's Friday, Women's Center at 3 o'clock, or just let me know if you want more information. Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, moving forward to presentations. We have Colleen Bendel here with us tonight. She is the Chief Human Resources Officer of Ohio University, and she's going to be presenting on student working hour increases. So let's welcome Colleen.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for inviting me to your clinic tonight. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks, Mama. Oh no. Oh no.
Wait, Landon's on it.
Sorry, Landon. Not me urgent. Let me just go
want to be the middleman. Thank you.
Well, I'm here today to talk about student employment hour limits. And so basically, work hours are put in place so that you don't jeopardize your academic success by working too much. But we heard from all of you, there was a desire to increase the number of hours that you could work. And so we heard you, and we're here tonight to tell you that effective January 1st, 2017, we are going to increase those work limits. So the new limits for students who do not have graduate appointments and are not here on F or J visas, you can work 25 hours a week during the spring and fall semesters. And during the summer and during times where there is no school in session, you can work 28 hours a week. But then for students who have graduate appointments or who are here on F or J visas, the limits are going to be remaining the same. You're going to be limited to 20 hours a week while school is in session, and 28 hours a week during the summer if the school is not in session. And so once again, this limit was increased due to the request that we received from you. The limit applies only to your Ohio University employment. So if you have other off-campus jobs, that you're not being paid for through Ohio University, it does not apply to those. So for those of you who have multiple jobs here on campus, this limit applies across all of your jobs. So you cannot exceed the limit across all of your jobs. Also, this increase doesn't automatically guarantee that you can work more hours at your job. You'll need to check with your supervisor to make sure that they have work available and they also have compensation available to pay you. So students and supervisors are responsible for monitoring the hours worked and to ensure that you don't go over these limits. Now, the little bit of bad news that I have for you is if you do go over these limits and you continually work more than 25 and 28 hours a week, and you work on average 30 hours a week, you could become what we call an ACA qualifier. And if you become an ACA qualifier, what that means is that the institution would have to offer you health insurance through our employer plan, not the student plan. And if you, once you become eligible to become an ACA qualifier, that means that the department incur extra charges. So they would be charged probably an additional $12,000 in benefit costs each year for your student employment. Budget constraints, they may not have the money to cover that, and therefore they may not continue to be able to employ them. I don't see that happening, but I did want to make sure that everybody was aware of that because that is one potential downside that we need to be aware of. And also, working a high amount of hours may also change your employment status, which could also affect your limit on scholarship, and it could impact the amount of taxes that you have to deal at the end of the year. Because, as you know, we have graduate taxes here, and the more you earn, the more you owe taxes. So does anybody have any questions that I can answer for you?
So if I change employment status to your hours, if I apply to 78 hours for something paper, or your hours?
Well, actually, if you're an employee of the institution, you can't really volunteer in the same capacity as for what you pay. Okay. Yes.
Is there any specific reason that the amount of hours increased for undergraduate students but not for graduate appointments?
Yes, there actually is. The graduate student they have their own policies that govern the number of hours that the graduate students work.
So you are not directly involved with that same, with this policy specifically?
No, I really don't have any purview of a graduate student policy or graduate college control.
Does this affect students under work study or no? That's more federal.
What do you mean by, you can, if your work study, you're usually limited to working 10 hours a week.
Right.
But if you find other employment and you can work up to 25 hours a week or 28 hours a week, that will be permitted.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so when Senate announced that there was gonna be a likelihood of an increment regarding working hours, I was like, but now I feel like I don't have to give you because per the clause here, it says without F or J visa, and of course, all international students are either F or J. So in effect, and I want you to confirm that this increment is really for federal students. Is that correct?
It's really for, I'm sorry, students.
Yes, unfortunately, that is the case here because those limits are imposed by the federal government that's tied to your work authorization in the country. That's really outside the control of Ohio University at this point in time. Okay, any other questions? No, well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Mhm.
Thank you again, Colleen. Okay. Moving forward, old business, we skipped a committee report. We do have a committee report.
It's up there.
Okay. The committee report is a staff subcommittee that was doing work regarding the bill tonight, so we will hear from them. Go for it, Zach.
Okay, so I'll touch on it a little bit. So we're voting on a bill today for an increase of $150,000 to SAC's annual budget. Myself and a bunch of other people, Zach, Haley, Eleanor, Andrew, and the interns have done a really good job doing some research for this increase, and we kind of put together a proposal that will be attached when the bill is passed. But basically what this says here is since 2008, the SAC allocation per student was $14.03. That's what it was in that graph, basically. And as kind of enrollments increase, SAC's budgets also kind of decreased a little bit. So right now, as you can see, it's $11.90, and it's gone down a change of 17.8%. And at that same time period, student organizations from 2008 to 2015 have gone from 293 to 505. So basically everything else, including tuition, which I don't have that on this slide, has increased kind of close to 100% or a large amount. Student enrollment, tuition, and student organizations, while SAC's budget's gone from $453,000 to $405 in 2016. It's kind of decreased slightly. So basically to be able to sustain and do the things we need, since we see a strong number of applicants for smaller student organizations, we need this budget increase to kind of be sustainable. And it just kind of closes the gap on the increase in tuition and everything else. So that graph kind of sums it up.
Is there anyone else from the committee that wants to say anything?
I guess I'll continue. So right now we have a cap of $1,500 per student, per event, per student orgs, and it's really limited what we've been able to do with it. Like if a organization wants to go to a conference, you know, on that because conferences aren't usually less than 1,500. And the big three has taken a big cut the past couple of years. So hopefully if this increase goes through, we'll be able to fund a lot more events that will benefit the whole student body.
Cool. Does that end your report?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay. Happens for president today. Okay, we have no old business. We do have one bill under new business. Bill 1617-03, a bill to
Second reading.
Second.
all right, I'm
Yeah, just kind of like how I said, had a $50,000 increase to our annual budget. I hit on everything else. This bill will be sent to the appropriate decision makers to make this proposal.
Secondary sponsor Eleanor. Reiterating exactly what they said. Our goal is always to fund as many student organizations as we can, give them the resources to really succeed and do what they want to do and really benefit our student body as a whole. And recently the budget cuts that we received have been frustrating, and having to turn students down simply because of our cap is really hard. And knowing that we funded events in the past that ended up not going through because of budget constraints. That's not fun as commissioners. We want to help on that. And so if the budget increase were to occur, this would really open up a lot of opportunities for students, student organizations on this campus, and kind of start closing the gap between the increases of everything else essentially in our slow and steady month. So hopefully, if it is passed and it is sent through, the different administrators, the different people that have been a part of this project or know that it is coming, will be able to sit down and practice. All right, thank you. And Healy.
Yeah, we've all worked really hard on this and we're really excited. Hopefully you all feel the same way. But I echo everything that Steve and Elmer said. There's your thoughts.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Sarah?
So I love this idea of being a student organization leader. This sounds great to me. I was just wondering if you guys have a plan in place for where the $150,000 is going to come from as of right now, or if that's kind of something that we're going to ask the university to put forward, because I know we've been encouraged by some of the administrators to tell us what you need and we'll figure it out. So if you're taking that approach, no judgment from me. I'm just curious.
Yeah, so general fee kind of went away a few years, so we used SEC used to be a portion of general fee. It used to be easier where to trace to, and it used to be like, okay, if you want more money, general fee has to get increased. But now we're kind of just putting it forward and we didn't really take on the role as kind of an auditor, just trying to look at the different departments because that would be very tough. But we're basically making our case to them and saying figure it out.
I think the SAC's budget doesn't really come from one specific place anymore. It used to, it is a little bit easier back then, and so now it's kind of, it does get divided in a lot of different ways. So there are some that we'll figure it out. It's not good at this. I like it. I like where we're going with it. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, Steven, that graph that was up there, why was there that giant height for 1 year?
Pull over.
Yeah, it switched from quarters to semesters, and it basically was rollover, and then it kind of leveled back out, and then it declined a little bit, and then it stayed steady.
I have a suggestion about that. If you all vote on this and it goes through, I feel like you should amend that graph because it still was not a spike or allocation. Yeah. It just happened to be leftover money from the year before that you spent. That makes sense. So I feel like it shows that you got money there that you didn't really get.
Yeah, in the full proposal, it kind of.
Does it say that? I would adjust the graph. It doesn't look right. It looks like you got extra money 1 year and then it got taken away.
Yeah.
That's my suggestion. If I name them.
I would like to friendly amend line 19 to say Dean of Students, Dr. Paul Jones, Jenny Paul Jones. Is there a second?
Second. Okay, and then when you move to vote, make sure you vote with that. Is there other discussion? Move to vote with any amendment? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? It passes. Okay, this is a new slide. So, university committee reports. There are many members in this room who sit on various university committees. So this is just a time that we are allowing that if you had a university committee meeting that you attended and you don't have a normal report to give it in, we wanted to give you this time to give a report to all Senate about these reports.
And if you have a commission report, just report it.
Yes. Yeah, commission reports will stay the same and the executive reports will still stay the same. But just for anyone who sits on a university, can you raise your hand if you sit on a university committee? Yeah, so lots of people here in this room. So if any of you have any updates from those committees that you'd like to give?
Hi guys, so I sit on the University Curriculum Council Committee and they just approved a massive public health program. I'll be looking forward to that.
Don't sit on the number one garden field in the United States. Nice. Any other updates? Go ahead.
So I sit on the University Park Place Strategy Planning Work Group Committee, whose name is constantly changing because we haven't really figured it out yet. So the university is partnering with the city to take kind of a blank canvas look at the Park Place corridor. Being that the city owns the street, we kind of attempted straying away from calling it the Park Place Group, but I think it's going to stay that way just so that everyone knows what we're referring to. We met this past week. My only update for you all is that we are still very much in the beginning pages of getting the scope of what the area that this group is considering looks like. So this week's meeting was basically just a tour with Shava Bolin, who is the university planner of the entire corridor that we'll be taking a look at. So that included everywhere from the beginning of 35 Park Place, which is the current HTC house, all the way through the Presidential Mansion, around that corner to Cruising House and the Sing Town Center. So we'll probably be meeting again within the next month.
I serve on the Joint Police Advisory Council, and we met a couple weeks ago. We talked about Halloween. Potentially next year, things might be starting a little earlier and shut down a little earlier. They were super pleased with how well Mill Street was able to be contained. They are looking to increase more relations with the community, the police are, to make everyone kind of more aware of what the police are doing. There will be a community barbecue coming up, so people can be on a one-to-one kind of relationship with everyone.
Anyone else? Emily?
I sit on the athletic staff committee, which is the student athlete advisory committee. It's not as cool as the staff, but it's not the same. And we have been swapping for the gift of life. I like this slide. It's really cool. You can kind of hear what we've been doing, which is the bone marrow registry. And we have every athletic team has this swap, and they've been feeling at the bottom of Baker. I think today was the last day, but they have over 250 swaps, which they thought was really awesome.
Cool. Thanks. Can I ask a quick question? How many of you in this room have been swamped? For those of you who haven't, it only takes a few seconds. So the next time you see an event, Baker, please do it. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna call all of you out. Anyone else? Okay. On to commissioner reports.
Oh, you can't see this week.
Hi. So we met and we got some stuff going on, but we're really looking forward to spring semester because we're working on getting porta potties for cat fighters. There's Joe, we're porta potties with pest contracts, like working on community parking situations, and all of this is just like office and like research and like so there's nothing cool happening. But we do have posters in the upper class residence halls on what you should look for, the things that you should look into when you're signing a lease for your house. So like, yeah, send people our way if they're having issues with stuff.
I'm gonna jump on that one. There are extra copies in the office. They look really great. And they did a nice job putting that info together. So if you need an extra copy, let Logan know for your house or for your roommates.
Yeah. And if you have any ideas of things that you have noticed living off campus that need work or need help, just come to any one of us. We're ready. I think that's what you're going. Oh, that's way better. Way better.
Thank you. Hey everyone. Finally, technically we haven't wrapped up yet, but our busy semester is about to over. So this is International Education Week. We have Wazim Christian. They're going to give you a very important announcement about the key speaker happening tomorrow. So, gentlemen.
So for those of you that were at the dinner, Dr. LJ mentioned the keynote speaker, Wajid Ali. He's a very prominent reporter and songwriter and playwright. He's a very prominent character within the New York community ever since the incidents of 9/11 occurred. So he was the essentially
the Muslim Student Association president at the time of 9/11 at New York. And when the event happened, he became literally the advisor for the president of the United States. And he literally advised him on all the matters of the Muslim community at the time of the event.
And he'll be speaking tomorrow in Baker Ballroom from 7 to 8 p.m. And he'll be there too, so you guys are encouraged to come.
And from her work is that he is a very engaging person. So you will not be bored. So you will always be tuned in to what he said. So I would recommend you all to. Okay.
And shout out for everyone who showed up for the international dinner. And for those who couldn't make it, I hope you can next year. This is pretty much what we have going on for this semester. We are about the finish line for this semester. The next two terms is going to be used, so be able to look at that. That's the end of our report.
Oh God, I couldn't be more sweaty in that picture. That's so cute. I love it. All right, well, hey, how y'all doing? So, update to you all. Composting is dead. My dreams are dead. Everything is great. I love it. I met with Steve Mack last week, who told me that our composting facility does not actually accept the paper products that we have. Yeah, my reaction exactly, Eleanor. It doesn't actually accept it. So all of those boxes and clamshells and spoons that you throw into compost thinking that you're a good person, yeah, they don't go to compost at all. So it wouldn't be worth our time to try to ask them to put in more composting things in cafes, because none of that will actually go to compost. I think that there's a case to be made on, cases around here, guys, I feel you. So I think there's a case to be made that we should be maybe putting a little more pressure on the university to increase the composting effort. I don't know what that's going to look like yet, so I'm not guaranteeing you that I'm going to tackle that right now.
So why do we use that stuff if it's not being?
Okay, so there is something to be said for still using it. It really cuts down on fossil fuels to use compostable stuff because it's all made from like corn oil and that sort of thing rather than like petroleum. So it's still better for the environment. It's just not quite as good as useful. So I'm going to be kind of collecting my thoughts on that, kind of talking to Courtney in our one-on-one on Friday, seeing how we can move forward with being greener, reducing our waste. Great transition. The RA board that we're planning on doing, that Olivia is working really hard on, and I'm going to have that final graphic from her tomorrow, I promise. Are going to be going up hopefully sometime spring semester. So if you look at Red Fall, look for our board, they give you all the information on like what's compost, what's take to landfill, what's recycle, that sort of thing. It's going to be really great. We're going to have some hopefully really great waste reduction tips for you. Take your Tupperware everywhere with you. Is my first suggestion. Just a bonus. So yeah, so that's going to be exciting. I'll let Lydia talk a little more about what she's doing in a minute. What else do we have going on? Okay. Environmental Justice Summit. We're still in like the information gathering stages. We're really excited about it. We just need to kind of nail down exactly what we're going to be doing. If you know somebody who knows about environmental justice, Flint water crisis, for example, anything relevant, environmental racism, if you are just really excited about it and you want to help, like talk to me. We're still looking for speakers. We're still looking for different organizations to help us host events. So I hopefully will have more information to you by like spring semester when the ball really gets rolling with it. But as of right now, we're still trying to gather up all the information we can and put on the best programs we can. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be great. Really looking forward to it. I went to the Ecology and Energy Conservation Committee meeting, and John was also there. And I don't really feel like we're moving forward very much. We are working on some amendments to the sustainability plan, which is really cool. And if you have an amendment that you'd like to propose, come and talk to me and I can tell you how to do it. But the things that we discussed in the meeting were specifying the metrics with which we measure our waste, because we have to do measurements of them and like know what our like waste output is. So we discussed specifying the metrics as one of the amendments, and then we spent 45 minutes discussing whether we needed to have a vote for people who need to report to the committee, but we didn't actually vote on it. So that's what we accomplished. I'm really hoping that next time I meet with them, we'll have a little bit more progress to report on. But it's still cool to like meet with so many different people. I know we're all very passionate about it. I think having the committee meet so late has not given us the footing that we needed to really do much during fall semester, but I have absolute faith that spring semester is going to be better. We had our Master of Sustainability Management event yesterday, Thank you to those who came to support me. I really appreciate it. I think it went well. I think we got some good information to a couple of interested students. And that's really saying something considering that it's such a niche program, such a rare program as well. So I was pleased with how it turned out. I'm really glad you guys ate the pizza that we had. So thanks if you were there. I am going to yield the rest of my time to Lydia for any outreach I have.
Hi, other than our A board, I don't have any other good news, but we do have a Twitter account now, so I think it's really graphic.
At OU Environmental, or no, OU Enviro Affairs.
So you should follow us.
Yeah, definitely. I promise we won't bombard you with tweets every single day. It'll be pretty moderate. That's all.
Okay. Oh, let's see. With Black Affairs, I'm trying to get the ball rolling. I'm doing some interviews and people that are interested in being the vice president senator. I'm going to meet with Courtney tomorrow. So, yeah. Also, I'm looking into organizations to collaborate with for next semester and coming up with ideas. That's it.
I'm not professional. I was going to do it. So I'm really thankful that we were able to finish up the committee that presented that bill to you all tonight. We have a full report, so obviously what we're sending them is a lot more detailed than what you saw. So if you're interested in seeing it or understanding more about what we researched and the statistics we have, please let us know. We can get that all to you because I'm sure you are all statistics junkies like I am and really want to check all of our data. I'm sure that's exactly what's happening. Aside from that, we're working on audits, beginning our auditing process, and starting actually to accept applications for spring events, which is exciting. So a lot of students are starting to look forward what they're going to do in the spring. The spring is definitely more intense for staff. That's when we'll be doing annual funding and also more events tend to happen in the spring for whatever reason. It's interesting. Something I do want everyone to keep in mind is as commissions, if you guys have an event that does prevent high-risk behavior, so if it's later in the day, in the evening, things like that, you can apply for youth funds. That is not excluded to you. So there is a separate process. You won't go through the budget tool, but if you're interested, please reach out to us. You are not exempt through our funding, and I think there's an idea going around too far. So please talk to us if you're interested. Don't ever be afraid to come and ask us questions about funding. Aside from that, we're looking into a couple of the resolutions going forward as ways to encourage students to plan ahead of time for their events rather than long-term reimbursement. So we're doing a lot in SAC, and I'm excited to begin the spring and continue audits and funding.
When is your last funding meeting?
Our last funding meeting. We will be meeting on, we're meeting this Monday on the 21st to review applications, and then the last one. So the 21st is the last meeting that we will do funding cycles, but we have in the past done the 28th as well, but we rarely get applications. So
someone asked today in the office. I told them the 21st.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
So then we will begin funding. I think that's everything. I missed everything. Sorry. Okay. Hello, everyone. So like Nina was saying, I would highly encourage you if you're able to go to the keynote speaker tomorrow. It seems like it's going to be really cool. He seems like a great guy. There's also a meet and greet happening from 2 to 4, correct, in Walter International Education Center, the one started by Baker. So if you're free then, stop by. Should be really cool. Would highly encourage it. So I forgot to pass this around during announcements. It's pretty typical. But we have a lot of open tabling slots. So that's, I understand it's the end of the semester, we're all really busy, but this is highly disappointing to me that no one is signing up. It was disappointing on Tuesday when we couldn't get people to fill slots. They're half-an-hour shifts, that's not that long, they count as office hours. It's a really great way to get out and talk to people. We've had a lot of people coming up, especially to like, we've been able to talk about the Bobcat Pledge and have interested people write their names down. So it's really, really important for us to be getting out of the office. So like, please sign up for tabling. There's only 2 times left that we're doing it this semester. I'm just gonna leave this up here, come sign up after, and I can send it out in a Google Doc. Do you all get my emails? Okay. Sometimes I wonder, because no one signs up for tabling. So please do that. I'm sure it'll be talked about during executive staff updates, but Thanksgiving is happening Thursday, so if you want to go to that, you still can sign up, or Friday, sorry. Friday at 4, so that's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna make awesome green bean casserole, so come for that. And it's still not too late if you want to do Bobcathon and didn't have the chance to sign up, just let me know and I can get you signed up for that. So with the Bobcat Pledge, President McDavis has agreed to buy 1,000 more for us. So we have 1,000 more buttons in the office that will need pinning. So we're still deciding if we're gonna have another official party or not. But when you're in the office and your free time, I'll leave some pledges out and the buttons there. So like, pin them. You know, if you're just sitting around and you want something to do, I would really, really appreciate that. And then we have to be an accomplice. That was the word, right, Jordan? Yep. Yes. So I encourage all of us to be accomplices, and wearing this button does not make you one. You have to actually do it. So mean what you say when you take the pledge. Encourage others to do the same. We understand that it's not, not a magic button that's going to make everyone not racist. That's not like what the intention is. The intention is to just start a conversation and show around our Bobcat community that we don't stand for any kind of hate, and we are accomplices to one another. So really take that message to heart and mean it all the time, even when you're not wearing a button. Also with that, so we've been reaching out to lots of different student forums. We've seen really positive impacts thanks to you posting on social media. If you've taken one yourself, you told people about it. I really appreciate it. I think that I think it's successful, and I want to see it continue. Student Alumni Board is going to partner with us to send Bobcat pledges to interested alumni. So that's pretty cool. So if you know any alumni who think would be interested in wearing them, they can email studentalumniboard@gmail.com, and we will mail them a pledge and a button. So that's some pretty cool things. But yeah, just I really want to stress that just because, and we all should know this in the room, but wearing a button is not enough, and we have to do more than that. And I hope that everyone in this room is doing more than that. That's the end of my report.
Oh, that's a lot. Fun. Okay, so your final commission meetings of the semester are all approaching. I think some of you may have had them already, but they'll be having them within the next few weeks. So as you're approaching your final commission meetings, I am encouraging and challenging all of you to be intentional and reflective in these last times that you meet for the semester. Really sit down and have a conversation with yourselves and with your commissions as a whole. What worked for you? What was successful? What were some challenges for you as a group? What were some challenges for you as an individual in your programming, in your outreach, in your ability to seek need from your constituents? And really get yourselves into the mindset of finding how you're going to improve yourselves for next semester. How can you be better? What can you change about the way you operated as a commission? What can you change about the way you reach out to your constituents and really strengthen that relationship? So really take this time to kind of wrap up and think hard about the things that we did this semester. That way when we come back after the holidays, we can really hit the ground running and start a whole new wave of outreach to your constituents, because there will be new ones, which is really exciting. Secondly, I am a forgetful bean and forgot a committee report in our time earlier, so I'm going to touch on it here. You may have heard a lot of our conversation about the Ohio University Task Force on Diversity and Inclusion. I'm going to ask all of you to write this down or burn it into your brains. Accessing the contact information for this group is something that I want you all to have for your constituents, if this comes up in conversation, if it's something you overhear, if it's information you'd like to push. So the Task Force on Diversity and Inclusion is a group of various representations from students, graduate students, faculty, administrative staff across the university who were all appointed by the president. And this group will be considering all of the proposals for institutional changes and initiatives on diversity and inclusion in general. So I want to again thank Jordan for making the point that marginalized communities are speaking as representatives. This is our chance to listen to them. And what I'm asking you now is to, again, take down this information so that if you come across conversation or when you're reaching out to your constituents about within anyone across the university, but especially marginalized groups calling for institutional change, please, 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 please talk to them, give information, funnel them if you can toward this group, or give information about this group to the students. That way, any kind of ideas or proposals or initiatives that there are to be had about institutional change can be heard by the group that will propose it to the president. So there's a website URL. It's ohio.edu/president. And that takes you to the website, the webpage of the president's office. Along the left side tab, there's a button called Initiatives. And then underneath Initiatives, there's a button titled Diversity. So if you click that Diversity tab underneath Initiatives, it gives you the list of every representative on this group. So the four undergraduate students that sit on this task force are myself, Keaton Bonomo, Jeffrey Billingsley, who is our social media director, not in the room, I don't believe at the moment, and Alexis Aparicio. And then there are also 3 graduate student representatives, Javonto being one of them. Don't forget that you all represent graduate students as well. So this group has to move quickly to be able to get initiatives and proposals to the Board of Trustees, who meet again in December and then in April. So we kind of have to move quickly. So what I'm challenging you and really, really imploring you to do is have the conversation with marginalized communities about what folks need, the changes that folks see the need for, and please give them that information so that we can make sure we're really having a collaborative conversation as a student body about what the university can do better. And if you have any questions, my phone line is always open, my email is always open, and you have the 4 student representatives, Keaton as well. I really encourage you to reach out. If you're confused about what this task force is or about what the difference is between CATS and task force and buttons and all those things, I know conversation gets muddled, so please reach out. And lastly, this is the last time, unless you're at Senate Thanksgiving, that we'll all be in the same room before Thanksgiving. So if you all are as tired, yeah, it's a thing. It's weird. So enjoy. If you get a chance to relax, enjoy that. If you get a chance to see family or loved ones, enjoy that. Remember what it is that you're thankful for. Call upon that, and I hope you all have a safe and relaxing time. I'm excited to see you again soon. And that's the end of my report.
Nice picture. Yeah, I echo what Hannah and Courtney said. Just remember, you have to do more than just wear the button. And also thank you for everyone for passing the SAC proposal. Everyone worked really hard on that. Like I said, people I mentioned before, Zach, Haley, Elmore, Andrew, and the intern as well, and anyone else that worked on it. So, Senate, $13,295. Of that, approximately $7,168 been allocated, not yet spent. And then SAC, $57,953. You fund $62,972, and those are inaccurate.
It was me as a kangaroo in Australia. I don't know why it's not pulling up. But anyway, so one part of my report is about the office cleanliness. So I walked in the office Monday and it was a wreck. So this is Exhibit A. Trash can. I don't know. I was in a hurry. I know, but like, what is that material? Yes.
Why are you so excited about it?
So, oh, wait, there's more. Okay, materials here, a lot of it, trash here, that is permanently stuck on it. It's not supposed to be, it's a business card, not a stick. pickup. Let's see what else. Just general rec. Also, this was my favorite. Real no. These were actual clothes. Like someone, I know whose clothes they are. No. Like all seriousness. Like I walked into the office and there were clothes scattered. Like this is supposed to be an environment for people from the general body to come in and look at, and there were actual clothes everywhere. Things falling over everywhere. Also, couch was a wreck. That jacket is a nice jacket. Go pick it up. It's been there for who knows how long. Also, oh, there's my darn. Oh, but yeah. So to my report. Thanksgiving note. Just remember that some of your Bobcat family members will not be going home this Thanksgiving. So support them because they might not be visiting their family on campus. Staff members are doing a lot of good things. Another shout out to Danny again for being great when I was gone. The alumni relations director who's not here tonight. Danny can't accept my praise because he's too busy taking minutes. So yes. The alumni relations director is creating a directory, like I said a couple meetings ago. He's creating a directory of Senate alumni, what they're doing now, what they did when they were in Senate, contact information, just so you can generally network with them. Let's see what else. Kelly, the Community Service and Social Activity Chair. We will be hosting the Senate Thanksgiving Friday at 4. As of right now, are we just meeting in the office? Have we secured a room yet, or are we just meeting in the office?
Oh, no, it's Copeland 108.
Copeland 108. Also, to those who are going, you received an email from Hannah, but you also received a group me message because like we need to figure out what we're eating, and I'm like, don't want to have like a cup of water at Thanksgiving. So fill out that list. Let's see what else. Oh, on another note, I'm very proud to serve in the role as chief of staff. I'm super proud to serve in the role as a student senate member, and I'm very proud to serve as to be a Bobcat. And I love the way that student senate is currently leading us, and I like the way that we are setting an example for the greater student body. Being that the Bobcat Pledge is a good example of that. It is a visual campaign and it is also a physical campaign, but it's also a first step in a long number of steps that we as a student body need to take. We as student senate members are leaders on this campus, and our job is to lead. The way that we affect change needs to be social and hopefully societal change. And like I said, the Bobcat Pledge is the first step in that. But now that that has been done, that is Student Senate's way, hopefully, of leading the charge and now kicking it over to the people that actually affect change. And those are the members on campus, the students on campus that are in student organizations, that are part of marginalized groups. Hopefully, certain commission members in Senate can lead other projects such as the Bobcat Pledge. We as Senate do not have all the answers, but we want to support the people on campus who do have answers. So reach out to your student orgs that you're a part of, get their feedback, partner with them, and create change on campus. And that is the end of my report. There's nothing for executive staff. The press is super weird tonight. I don't know why it's jumping around, but
it's all good. We actually did not have a meeting last week, so I have nothing.
I also have something to report.
I don't think you report that he helped a lot on the bill that we passed and used all of his absurdly amazing knowledge that we all forget that Toronto has. This is his second master's. I'm going to remind you all, he's a genius. He's a great person. So thank you, Toronto, for all
Hands up if you're thankful for Toronto.
That's the only thing I'm thankful for this evening.
It's like right
years ago today, about 4 o'clock in the morning, I got a phone call from the chief of police saying there was a pretty bad fire on Union, and it looked like it was going to impact a lot of students, and we weren't sure if students were going to be hurt or not. How many people were here on campus during this meeting? Those of you who weren't here yet, have you heard stories about it? Talked about it? So 2 years ago today, so it's a 2-year anniversary, it ended up being 40 students were displaced for about 3 days, and 19 students lost everything they owned, right? And it was a big kind of crisis for our institution. So this is like, there's a good part. There's a lot of good parts. One is that nobody was hurt. And I think in that way, it was a miracle. And I was reminded when Logan was doing the off-campus report, y'all need to check your smoke detectors. Those of you who live on campus, it's for real. Check your smoke detectors and know your egress. Like, know your points where you need to get out. That's really, really important. We really could have lost people because it was a really scary situation. But the positive is everybody was safe. Like, there was only a couple people who had very slight injuries. And the whole community came together. And a lot of things, you can just imagine losing everything you own in that space. We were taking care of students all night long, all day long. Students who left without shoes, right? They were in their pajamas, 4 o'clock in the morning. They didn't have their glasses, their contacts. There was diabetic students that didn't have their insulin. Like, it was, when you think about just all of a sudden walking out with what you've got on and not having anything. And we were doing a lot of work those couple of days, taking care of everybody and making sure that they were getting what they needed. So it's 2 or 3 days afterwards, we had another meeting with students, and I said, is there anything we forgot? Like, we tried to imagine everything that you would need, but did we forget something? Well, one student came up to me afterwards, and he was like, I'm kind of, like, I don't want to be picky, but I forgot to tell you that I had library books. And I was like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, we can take care of that. And he was like, wow, but if they weren't even Ohio universities, they were like Ohio Link. I was like, it's like, we'll take care of it. Do you have any idea what the book was? And this young man said, he just kind of looked at me kind of sheepishly, and he was like, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Just never forget one. I love, he's a senior, right? He's a senior. And I love the fact that Ohio linked Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It's really important. And so one of the things that I just remember is I was like, I need this is super cute. And it was a funny moment and like a really big tragedy, really. And so I went home that night. I own all the Harry Potter books in order, all the hardbacks. So I plucked up my Goblet of Fire and I wrote on the inside of it, and I gave it to him the next day. And I basically wrote, like, I just want you to remember, you need to own this book first of all. No more and you need to remember that you're a survivor and you're going to be a Bobcat forever. And so, you know, tragedy weeks, right? Bobcat Pledge happens this week. He tweets me. He's like, Jenny, I don't know if you remember me. I'm like, oh, I remember you. It's like, oh, it's a fire, really. And he tweets at me, he says, I love the idea of the Bobcat Pledge. If I send you money, will you send me a couple for me and my girlfriend? I'm now in Seattle, Washington. I was like, I don't need money, but I will send you a couple bucks. And so I think, I want to tell you that story because it's the anniversary. It's literally the anniversary today. And then this young man reached back out to me because of the Bobcat Pledge. And I just thought, okay, this is a good feel-good story for Senate and on today. So thank you for everything that you do, and don't forget to check your smoke detector. And he's at a conference. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Love you all.
Yeah.